Right.
I had the feature film, and he said, "But can you do it for the budget?"
Right.
And then I said, "No, I can't."
Right.
and and the
Okay. You Oh, are
yeah,
you there? Hello.
yeah, I'm still here. I went black.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It blacked out for a second, but sorry. Please continue, jokes. We're back on.
So then he we rewrote the script. He was happy with that, and we went off to do that project.
Well, that's awesome,
And
man.
then
It's and the rest is history, as they say. Uh,
yeah, the rest.
so that was the world premiere was at the Miami Film Festival, if I recall.
Was, yeah, in March 7th of 2013.
Wow. Yeah, that was. I want to say that was an anniversary year, but I don't remember if that was the 25th or the 30th. It was probably like the 30th, something like
30th.
that. Yeah.
It said the triple X.
Right.
Yeah.
The Triple X MMFM. That would make sense. Film Festival. That's awesome. So let's jump ahead a little bit to some of the things that you're working on now. For example, you have a web series that you're working on called The Mob King. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah. So Mobkin came to me because Anthony Caroni, who's an actor who was in EM3, he had approached me about doing a proof of concept, maybe a sizzle reel, because in that little era, right before 2015 and 2016, I was kind of making a living doing a lot of sizzle reels for a lot of projects, and a lot of them were advancing and getting to like they were passing like the barrier of entry, so they were getting into like little situations. Like I had one little sizzle reel that got picked that stars had put it into development to the channel. I had another one that I don't remember which. It's like one of these automobile channels or whatever. I don't remember which one has Velocity or something like that. I
Hmm.
had another show that they had put into development. So like I was getting kind of a good reputation for delivering scissor reels that can like actually break through at least the first barrier of entry.
Right.
Uh, so they reached out to me about doing a sizzle reel for this thing, and I I kind of saw the writing on the wall because those other shows, even though they had killer sizzle reels, that kind of caught people's attention.
Hmm.
That sizzle reels weren't kind of enough anymore,
Right.
and I had a huge interest because one of the projects that I did do a sizzle reel for, I thought really deserved to actually have been made as a web series and shown that it can get an audience.
Right.
So I had suggested to them, fuck doing a sizzle reel. Let's do a web series. And
Okay.
at first they were kind of like, well, should we really do that? We don't know. But then at one point, I kind of like showed them a bunch of like things that should prove to them that it was the right way to go. And then, which one of the best things I said was, let's put the money where the mouth is. Like you're more to me, I felt like you're more likely to get fans than you are to get an executive. Because if this is a fan-driven project, let's go after the fans. Forget about going after executives because executives are looking for one thing, fans are looking for something else. And
Right.
once you have executives are then looking for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's the process that we began, and then we shot, and we literally, which was kind of crazy. We first shot like a concept trailer, just to kind of show what it would look like and to see if if we promoted it, if people would watch it.
Right.
Little did we know it got about a 250,000 views in like 2 or 3 days.
Oh wow.
So we were like, okay, this works.
Right. Absolutely.
But then we did one episode. At one episode, we are like, all right, let's do. If we're gonna do it, let's do two at a time because it makes more financial sense to do two at a time rather than just doing one at a time.
Hmm. Right.
So then in the next batch we did two of them, and then those got a bunch of views, and like it worked out, and like was the fan base was growing. So then we did two more, and we kind of capped it off at five, and that's when some people from Europe came in, and they basically were like, "Yo, we're stop.
Right.
we're gonna make this thing like a real thing," and we're still kind of in the process of doing that because that takes like a super long time because a big budget's coming in for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So that's that whole producing, development process, financing, the whole
Yeah,
Hollywood hustle.
it takes, it would normally take about anywhere between 18 to 24 months, and then add COVID on top, and now we're talking about
Right.
36.
Wow. Right, exactly. But in the meantime, you're working, you're doing a bunch of stuff. You have a couple of projects coming up. I'm not sure if we have time to show the trailers, but I want to talk about them at least. So let's talk a little bit about these couple of films that you're working on. I Played the Giants on a Monday Night. What's that about?
Okay, so that was a project that I got into, because I had another web series called Five Alive, which is about this group that was kind of like a fake boy band. It was like a boy band that we got them on America's Got Talent, and kind of like punked them, like they thought they were like a legit boy band, but reality they weren't.
Right.
Like kind of, and we made like a comedy show with them that we had put out on the internet. So I wanted to take the lead from that show, and the lead from and Anthony Caroni from the Mob King, and put them in one project together. And I had this idea about doing a project about an athlete who got hooked on drugs because of because a lot of these athletes, sometimes they're playing in pain, and they're taking Percocets, oxycodone, all that kind of stuff like that, and then they'll be turning into heroin addicts. And now it's like a common, because I work with Wall Street Productions and Jim Wahlberg, we do a lot of anti-drug films that we work on together.
Oh, cool.
This was an idea that I said, hey, let's do this project with these two guys, because I knew they were a fucking killer. And I was like, let's put them together. I want to see them go at it. And so we created that project, which is like a real, like, it's very heartfelt. It's very much about a father-son dynamic, because I think, and one of the things I really wanted to kind of explore was the fact that, like, a lot of times parents think that without getting any external help, they can, like, solve the problem of addiction in somebody.
Right.
And what I wanted to show there was that no matter how big and tough you think you are, like, it sometimes takes external help, like, to reach out for help, because you're not going to be able to solve it on your own. I mean, maybe you can, but, like, the more than likely scenarios, you're not. And that your job really is to, like, perhaps help influence the people that you love to, like, seek the help.
Right.
Because there are professionals that can help you. So that was the idea of the film, and that's why we did that. And I think both killer performances. It's a super character-driven piece, and I kind of wanted to do like a very character-driven piece.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a powerful movie. I can't wait to see it. And then, the other one that you're working on that I'm going to try to show this promo, going back to your good friend Jay Bishop, Suitcasey. So let's see if we can watch this, and then we'll talk about it a little bit.
All right.
Do you ever wonder how cell phones get into prison?
The Golden Mule. That boy's like a Gucci bag, man.
Say I promise you a magic show when the rabbit and the dove are in the hat.
Cheese in the trap, y'all. Cheese in the trap.
Warden Richard Buttercoat on deck.
My name is Warden Richard Buttercoat. I don't go by Dick.
They ever make a book on prison legends, you're gonna find Prescott's name right up there next to Mount Stuffmore.
Painful comedy.
Yeah.
So talk a little. So how did that one come about? Was that more Jay Bishop's idea? Was he bored one night experimenting with cell phones?
Well, actually, no. Ciro DePazio it was actually based on like kind of a true story.
Oh wow!
So one night we were on the phone discussing another project that we were doing. And we were saying, man, it'd be kind of fun to just do like a comedy, because I've been doing all this serious shit for a while, and I was just kind of like, man, it'd be nice to do some like fun comedy stuff. And we were just kind of goofing off, talking about different ideas. And then the idea of, because we had used a jail for another project, so we were like, it'd be fun to use that jail. I was like, and then Ciro kind of told me that story about this guy who can carry like a lot in his ass.
Wow.
Jail, that he carried 2 cell phones and all kinds of stuff in there. And I was just like, oh my God. So like literally like 2 nights later, I sat down, I wrote the whole script, the first draft of the script. I like backed it out, and then Jay came in and gave it like a little touch up and added a couple like key things that made it just take it to the next level. And then we just kind of we just like kind of fell in love with it. We are like, let's go. And then we created a whole Bible for it. So that's actually to become like somewhat of another series.
Right.
Might actually one coming up soon.
So you're going to pitch it as a series.
Yeah, we're actually going to put it out. Both of those projects are going to be out on Amazon.
Oh, cool.
Because the film festivals, even though I know they're viable and they're trying to come back, like for right now, like we're just trying to focus on putting them on Amazon and getting kind of like our Amazon base built up a little bit more.
Wow. All right. And tell the audience, when will they be available on Amazon?
Giants should be out. I play the Giants on a Monday night. Should be out like probably by the end of this week.
Okay.
And then suitcasing probably in about 2 weeks.
All right. Well, I hope everyone checks that out. That's especially suitcasing. The other one sounds really powerful too, but suitcasing is just, that looks hilarious.
Yeah.
But absolutely.
The people who have seen it, like either they laugh their ass off or they're totally repulsed.
Literally. Yeah. Well, jokes. This has been an amazing 30 minutes. I wish we had more time because we probably could have talked for a couple hours. It was great. But I really appreciate you coming on and sharing some of your projects.
No, and I appreciate you bringing me on. I'm super happy being a guest. I feel great. And unfortunately, one day we could probably do it in the same room.
Yes. Great. That would be awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, it was great to be on here. And thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Likewise. I'll put you on hold for 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The one and only Jokes Giannis. Make sure to check out both Suitcasing and I Played the Giants on a Monday night, coming very soon to Amazon. And as I always say, on behalf of the MMFM Digital, I'm J.O. Martinez. And until the next time, happy streaming.